This is career stuff, very basic career stuff. Number one, you want to interview people with interesting careers. And of course, middle class people feel that they are worthless and they don't deserve to interrupt important people. And they spend their whole life never meeting the most interesting, creative people around them. And instead, you should draw a 2 hour radius around where you live and work and research to find all the creative, interesting people, especially people with interesting careers who live and work around you. And just one by one, meet one a week for several years until you've met 100 of them. At least that will get you out of middle class mindset. Uh, if you haven't met people with interesting careers, you won't have the motivation to do the hard work needed to get them. And so knowing about interesting careers is one thing, but knowing the person and seeing how exciting their life is very different because it gives you the motive power to actually work hard to get them. Number two, um, this is different than interviewing people with great careers. Great careers may or may not be interesting because the word great is sort of involves some elements of reputation, popularity, the media, which are pretty venal and shallow. And so great careers by your definition of what human greatness is, that's important to me. But greatness by the criteria of the age you're in and the nation you're in and the media you're around, that's probably not worth meeting and in fact dangerous to me. Number three, there are 16 types of career. There are 16 standard career moves people make. There are 16 operations on careers that people apply. And there are 16 approaches to building a career. It's in an article I wrote. Go get the article. But basically, you need that machinery. There's also 16 rules you have to follow to have a great career. 16 constraints on careers, some of them newly emerging that you have to pay attention to and handle. And 16 tools for having a great career, which are repeated again and again, case after case, in totally different people, totally different nations, totally different professions, but they end up with very similar tools for getting ahead. So I think this has to do with they're all dealing with humanity. So you really need to know those tools. Again, it's in an article I wrote. Go get the article. Career paths. Um, we have job, which we do for money. We have life work, which we do for love. We have hobby, which we do to relax. We have profession, which is where we socialize and get together to find new jobs and to meet people who have the same job we do to improve ourselves. In addition, we have intellect development, self-development, social development, and career development. All 8 of those you should be working on every week and every month. All 8 of those you should be working on every week and every month. All 8 of those you should be working on every week and every month. You should work hard to try to get paid for all 8 of those every week and every month. Career depth. This has to do with whether you are changing history of your career field by being there or whether you're just sort of going along with the flow. And at times going along with the flow is fine. And at times changing that flow's direction is more fun. You do this with creativity dynamics. I'll call it the creativity power model, which starts with liberation, freedom, historic dream, and conserving novelty. And under that, you've got 16 categories under each of those. And you start with one, you go through 64. It's the standard process of creativity. It combines models from 20 different people. And you apply that to each of those 8. You apply that to your job for money, your life work for love, your hobby for relaxation, your profession for socialization and expansion and finding new jobs. You apply it for intellect development, social development, self-development, and career development. And then tipping points and 10,000 bee stings. There are 2 forms of causality to move you from where you are to where you want to be. The first form is the Western form, which is finding that one tiny, very, very specific point where a tiny input changes the whole status of your career and system. But you can look your whole life and never find that. So that's risky. Number 2 is 10,000 bee stings. Tweak everything in your life in the same direction, and you'll end up moving the elephant that is your ecosystem life.